Okay, so Shalom. So I'm pretty sure you probably heard of the saying, okay, they asked somebody, which one would you rather have? $1 million or one penny that's going to be doubled for 30 days? And when you first heard it, I'm sure you was like, that's not even close. Give me the meal. Now, knowing the penny doubled every 30 days, I'm sorry, doubled every day for 30 days, it's going to be what, like, I think it was like 5,700,000 or something like that. Point is, point is this. That's compound interest, right? Be fruitful and multiply, right? So Christ, Jesus, Yeshua, must have knew about this. Why do you say that? Okay. So let's take a modern day church, right? And this is no, and just not coming at them or anything. I don't do that. But I'm saying let's take a modern day church. One man is no, this is the pastor, right? Is over everything, and like I always say, It's the Lord is my shepherd. It's too much for a man. We weren't designed for that. So what happens is, okay, let's say they really grow, and then they get another church, and they get another church, and they just pack them out, right? But one man, they may have a couple people that work for them, but how many are they walking with, giving them the knowledge that they have, building a relationship? Like Christ did with the disciples. So Christ knew about compound interest. So they may have some people, a lot of people, but is it quality or is it quantity? What are those people truly getting? Are they able to, meaning, are they able to tap into their divine gifts that only they know about? Do they truly feel that they're not below you, not above you, but they're right eye to eye with that pastor? How many churches truly feel like that? Like they had their gift is just as important. Come on, let's be real. Not many, right? So compound interest. Christ, Jesus, Yeshua the Christ, walked with 12 disciples, average Joes. You notice Christ didn't just I'm going to come and say, I'm gonna get the best of the best, or I'm gonna get the ones with the most morals. No, I'm gonna get sinners that know they're sinners, just average Joes, just like the Bible, basic instructions before leaving earth, right? 12 that he walked with, talked with, had a relationship with. So imagine if it's just a church, just 12 simple people, just 12 average Joes, right? This is the power of being fruitful and multiplying. This is the power of when it comes to, now, let's say, not just money or not money. Let's take this example of people. You take those 12 quality people that you spent time with teaching the true living word. They all teach. They reach one, teach one, and they go from there. Just like a real, what they call pyramid schemes. This not no scheme. This is really reaching out. This is how you reach out to the people. Like when Christ fed with the one loaf. We say it's a miracle. Was it a miracle or was it compound interest? Seems like a miracle, doesn't it? Say here, who fed them? The disciples. Broke it up, broke that bread up here. Feed your bunch. See, we got to look at this, it's symbols, and that's quality because you care about these people. You understand? You you're not just, okay, I'm gonna give a message, and yeah, it might hit home with some people, but is it long lasting? Is it something that's really going to have them tap into who they were sent here to be, and then start in their purpose? Or are they just gonna always just be sitting up looking up to you? I was listening to this guy earlier. this gentleman, and he was saying, you know, a lot of the struggles he went through. He was being humble. He was being vulnerable. And as I always talked about on this channel, I even, you know, it would be look at it, you know, or not. But you know, I wrote him. I said, man, you should really check out my channel, man, because that's what I talk about. That's what it really means to be of God, to be of Source, the big G. It's about being vulnerable. You telling your story. And what he was saying was he, I think it was his sister's boyfriend or something like that. At some point, he was living with her, and her boyfriend, or I'm sorry, her husband, was a pastor. And he said, what, you know, I guess how he portrayed himself outwardly was nothing how he was inwardly, like inside, right? Like, you know, so what that did was it made him turn against the religion because why? He did what most people do, consciously or unconsciously, put all their faith in a man. Never put your faith in me. Do not put your faith in me, nor any other man. You will be disappointed every time. And when he saw that, that was the thing. He was like, you know what? I'm just gonna step away, not knowing you you had it in you. So all this time you looking at him, it was in you. It was in you. Because listen, that final day, that final judgment, listen, do you really trust another to put that in another man's hands? Don't trust that with nobody but yourself. Yourselves, yourself. You feel what I'm saying? And you know, if more channels, more quality channels spoke about that, that is, you know, nobody above you, nobody below you either. Eye to eye, eye to eye. I have my, you have your purpose, and I have my purpose, and you are me, I am you, and we tell our stories. And that's what that gentleman did. He told his story, and what it did was it we're puzzle pieces. Like I say, we're an orchestra. It gave it, imagine like basketball. He threw me the lob. It was some pieces that he was talking about, and I slam dunked it. We all have stories, and what it does sometimes, we need to hear each other's stories because it is like the missing pieces to something we may have been thinking about, or you know, like a confirmation, like, oh, the biggest one. Like and I did a couple videos about this. When I tell you, I said when you open up the Bible, you can say what you want. You don't read it, it reads you. I heard, never heard anybody else talk about that. That it talks about it in Hebrews as well, that you know, cuts like a double-edged sword, able to cut through flesh, bone, marrow, and is a discerner of the heart. Meaning, whatever you whatever you thinking, if you want to disprove it, that's what you would do. Go right ahead, free choice. If you want to, if your heart just like, I really just need a verse or something that's gonna help me with my life or help me with what I'm going through, and you're genuine, that's what you're gonna get. That's what you're gonna get. So it when people, you know, make all these videos on how they disprove this and disprove that, you know, I just sit back and I kind of laugh. And I don't need the Bible can defend itself. I don't need to defend it. It is what it is. See, that's also not kingdom minded thinking. But again, with the gentleman, what is kingdom minded thinking is, he said he went and he started studying other faiths. And he said even, you know, witchcraft and all this, and you might get, and you might be like, oh my God, yeah, but I wouldn't. Let me make that make sense. Meaning, when you when you ask questions. Don't just take a man's word for anything. So when you think Source will be offended, that the big G will be offended, big G say, I'm everywhere. I'm in a blade of grass. If you look for me, seek ye first the kingdom, you're going to find me when you are in the right place. But the search is necessary. Because why? Because there will be people just like this gentleman who feel so bad about that, but not knowing you went through that to help other people. Because it's a lot of other people that have their ministry, and they're going to need to hear that don't beat yourself up. That's a necessary part of this. That's the seeking. So what? You can emotionalize with people. So let me go even further. So people that might have been into magic, dark magic, white magic, whatever kind of magic, you get, if all things get understanding. So you like, I understand where you're coming from. Hey, I'm not with it no more, but I'm not judging you. But what happens with somebody else? They hear that and they like, man, are you out? They can't get with it. Therefore, how can you build a relationship with that person? Nobody is really going to listen to somebody who they really don't have a relationship with. They may listen to somebody they admire, that they see above them consciously or unconsciously, but it's not really they're not going to emotionalize with it. People on that's love. Love is a part of love. A big part of it is being able to emotionalize with people. So when you study all these different things, you're like, well, why? Because I said the same thing. I'm like, so that was all the big ways. And I'm right back where I started. No, it was not a big waste. It was necessary. It was necessary to say, okay, look, source say, look, I'm in you, I'm in them, your neighbors, I'm in the grass, I'm everywhere. Always have been, always will be. So you figure out, and it's another big thing that I always talk about. You don't have to evolve. You don't have to. You don't have to have a. Oh, that's another one. Yeah, people say, okay, well, we gods, right? And I'm like, okay, but they say, you looking out for God and we're guys. Okay, got you. Then the same people would say, I'm looking to my higher self. Well, you're looking elsewhere. You just be. If you say, meaning, if it's anything that's outside of you, it's going to tell your mind, or tell your body, okay, that it disassociates with it. That's why you don't look at people as above you. You look at them as equal. So it's not a higher self, it's not a lower self, it's just a self. Just like the unconscious, conscious, and subconscious. No, it's just a mind. Just we got feet, we got a head. That's not a different um person or being. No, it's still the same body. Just different versions or aspects of it that function differently, but it's one in the same. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's just like us. Everybody got a gift. The feet, the head, that's how you perceive it. But when you perceive it source's way, kingdom minded way, we all just work together to function properly. Nobody looking at what's bigger or no, that's Luciferian. Nobody's trying to be worshiped. You're trying to get the job done. So, like I said, using you, average Joes. Think about it. Middle, lower to higher middle class, we the glue anyway. So when you think you just here to help the lower class, no. As above, so below. We the glue that's going to help both. Why? Because see, higher class people, they do like the Pharisees. They want to try to catch you up because there's no way you know as much as them. So they're like, in their minds, they keep, well, did you say this? Did you? They're not going to hear anything you have to say. It's very hard for them. And just as lower class, it's very hard for a very super intelligent person to comprehend certain, spiritual things or just aspects that might really be good for them. You know what I mean? But it's out of their comfort zone. And it's even hard. I've talked to some very educated, but it's even hard for them to get it from somebody that's with a higher status. So imagine just your average basic Joe. You think they're going to get it from them? No, no, they're not. So yeah, we're the glue. As above, so below. At basic, just average Joes, that's going to be fruitful and multiply. That's power. That's power, y'all. 12. 12. Probably smart. Compounding. We could feed a multitude because they're hungry. They're in need. But they're looking everywhere but here, themselves, because that message isn't pushed enough. So rather than saying, okay, I'm gonna get a whole lot of people that's gonna give a whole lot of tithings, I'm gonna tell you the true tithe again, and I'm gonna say it in a lot of messages. Your time. Sources want 10% of your time, because what that does is that tells you. So yeah, I'm not against churches. Now aspects of it, yes, but I'm not against it. So do do you by all means. But by when you get that message, let's say from I done got some good messages from pastors, TV pastors, real pastors. But what you do with that is, and if you choose, like I said, this you individual journeys. But take that 10% of time to say, okay, I felt that message. I need you to go deeper of why I felt it so much, and come just as you are. Like I say, that saying "come as you are," that's not in the Bible, but that's a huge saying. Where does that saying come from? That's how Source wants you to come. You, all your sins, all your flaws. Not. It's not about morality. It's about being emotional enough and vulnerable enough to do what? Surrender. It's about surrender. And that guy that I was listening to, I think his name was Will. I can't think of his last name. He surrendered. He's just like, you know what? I'm tired. I'm tired of fronting. I'm tired of being somebody that I'm not. When you can relate to that, but when you think that you're somebody that you're not, and you're so blinded, like the house Negro that Malcolm X talked about. Those are the ones that are in dire need. That they're enjoying the fruits of their labor in the world so much that they can't see the need. With their fine garments and robes, not knowing that what they're wretched and poor. They can't see it. How can you know what you don't know? So being vulnerable and being yourself, that's always going to be good enough. That's why I said being yourself, because not evolving, just being yourself. Because when you just be, you're gonna notice you're gonna start becoming. So you're gonna say what? Be what? I am. I am what? You're gonna ask questions. And what happens? You want to ask the messenger instead of asking yourself. You can answer those questions. It's just like going on a diet. You want to go to all the fitness gurus and all this. Basically, you know how to lose weight. How? And get in shape. How? But eat less, work out more. Now, I understand simple but not easy, but you know. just about everything you need to do, you know you already know it. You're just not doing it because of what? Oh, it's probably an easier way. I'm going to listen to this person. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Listen to yourself in your cells. That cellular communication. Communicate with yourself. Drop it. You don't have to think you got, just listen. You might have some emotional moments. Like I say, I get that. That's necessary. But just how I'm talking to you now, I talk to source just like that. It can be out loud. It can be from within. However, just being me. Don't even have to come on sophisticated. I don't have to wear a 3-piece suit. And there's nothing wrong with dressing up. But this is a great point. You go, you dress up, and you act like you're dressing up for God. I heard somebody say once, well, if they was going to meet the president, I bet they'd be looking like this, but you just dress anyway for God. You're not dressing like that for God. You're dressing like that to impress people. I like to look nice. So it's nothing wrong with it, unless you're lying about it. That's the thing. You're not being real. The person that you are in church, are you that person at home? 9 times out of 10, you're not. So how are you serving the spirit and truth if everything is false and it's a lie? And your shepherd is not Jesus, it's the Lord or the Lord. The Lord is my shepherd. So you wonder why everybody is in one. They're not being shepherded by the right shepherd. Themselves. Reach one, teach one. A quality church that walks and says, okay, I got 12. They all take some more, and what they do is they will sit under them. They walk with you until you ready. And you, even before you think you're ready, when they know you're ready and you feel it, you'll feel it. And so on and so on. Getting quality, hands-on training and relationship. How many people really have, especially if it's a big church, have a real relationship with their pastor? Walk with them, talk to them. And this is the thing. Do they even have the quality word? I mean, I'm just being real. So, I'm going to end it at this, y'all. Do not look anywhere outside of yourself. Yes, the kingdom is within and it's without. But from within, you'll be led to everything you need without. You. Sins and all, flaws and all. That's why I say that all the time. That's one of my sayings. Flaws and all. I didn't even get my intro because this actually was supposed to be a short. So I'm going to say it now. Shalom, 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 everybody. This is Ivan, the Trinity of Water, with that preparation for purpose. Shalom.